Okay, this is Darkroom Booth, and this is the latest version, version 3. And this is our main output tab. If you click up here, you'll see all the different options to different sections of the software, and we're going to go to Output to start with. And this is where you'll set up your print alternate. If you look right here, it's the second option down. All of these different checkboxes and things down through here are various types of output that you can give the customer options for. Print alternate is what we're going to be dealing with today. So to start with, I want to switch over to my PowerPoint, and let's talk just a little bit about this. Okay, first of all, you want to decide what options you want to offer. Now, depending on your printer and different things, you could offer the same theme template in different sizes, like a 2x6 and a 4x6. You could offer different themes of templates. You could offer different green screen templates, various things like that, so people can decide whether they want this background, that background, or they can decide if I want bigger prints or smaller prints. A lot of different options you can use print alternate for. So first of all, you want to decide what options you want to offer the customer and get those templates ready. Now, it's best if all of your templates have the same number of images. Currently, Darkroom Booth does not key the number of photographs taken to the number of image spots on the template. So whatever you have set in the main output tab for the number of photos to take, it's going to take that many photos. So if you have one template with 3 photos and one template with only 1 photo, it's going to take all 3. Now, you can also let them see all 3 and choose which one they want to be in that single photo template. So that's an option as well, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it is best, generally speaking, to have all the templates have the same number of photos for consistency. The templates can be different sizes depending on your printer. So it depends on the printer and what the printer can do and what you want to offer and everything, but you can have different sizes. And while we're on that topic, I'm going to switch over to a different section of the PowerPoint and talk about the number of or what you can do with any particular printer. So with printers that we have a built-in driver for, that would be things like DNP, Bravo 21, etc., you can use whatever size up to the capabilities of that printer. So for example, you could do a 2x6 or a 4x6, and Darkroom can switch the cut back and forth, 2x6 or 4x6. You could do a 6x8 or 2 4x6s. That's within the capabilities of most printers. So up to the capabilities of that printer, you can do whatever you'd like. Another example would be like you could do 2 4x6s on 6x8 or a single 6x8. You could also do a 14x6 because with the DNP 620, because that printer can do panoramic sizes with 6x8 media. So there's a lot of different options you can do depending on the capabilities of your printer. If you're using a printer that has a Windows driver and not a built-in driver in Darkroom, then we can't control that printer directly. So we can't turn that cut from one to the other. You'd have to choose, all the same size templates. Basically, you couldn't do a 4x6 and a 2x6. You'd want to do all 4x6 or all 2x6, depending on the, because with a Windows print driver, we can't turn that cut on and off. All right. Those would be printers like Hi-Tie, Shinko, etc., printers that we don't have a built-in driver for. Those are using the Windows driver. Now, multiple printers with different size medias. Darkroom has the ability to built in to switch prints to different printers. So for instance, let's say you have 2 printers and both printers have 4x6 media in them. Then you could let the software send one set of prints to the first printer, and then the next set of prints would go to the second printer. That's a great thing to do if you have high volume and need to get the prints out faster, especially if you're doing multiple copies. So you can use 2 printers or more actually with the same media. But if you're using printers with different media, so let's say you have, for example, let's say you got 2 DNP 620s, and one of those printers has 4x6 media in it, and one of the printers has 6x8 media in it. Then Darkroom can send 2x6s and 4x6s to the one with the 4x6 media. It can send 6x8 or 6 by 14 or 6 by 22, I think it is, to the 620 with the 6 by 8 media. So you could offer that range of sizes with just those two printers. So you have a lot of different options there. All right, now let's go back to my main, switch back to my main part. Here we go. So templates can be different sizes depending on your printer. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is you want to add your primary template. So I'm going to switch back over to the software so you can see that. If you look right here in the Output tab, you'll see right here that I've added my primary template. So you just click on Choose, you locate your primary template, click Choose, there it is, and you'll notice this one has 3 photos. So that's a 4 by 6. I've got it set up here for 1 copy and 3 photos to be taken. Then you want to add in your Print Alternate. Click on Print Alternate. It'll open this little window right here, and you can type in whatever text you want them. Choose your print size is what I have, but you can say whatever you want. And then a little further down here you'll see the opportunity to add your other templates. So in this case we click on that, we locate our other template, and where is my, here it is right here. That's the one I chose for this particular thing. So I've got 1 2 by 6 and 1 4 by 6. Now you can add up to 50 different templates in the Print Alternate. That's kind of crazy though. I wouldn't offer anybody that many selections. You'll have people be there all night long scrolling through those. But you could do it if you wanted to. So you can let them choose up to 50 different ones. Other options in this list here, you just click, the way that you do that, you just click Add Template and just keep adding. So you can add as many as you want. But right now we're just going to use that one. Now if you go up here, the top part here, you'll see a checkbox that says Print for every session. What that means is you'll get both the primary template and the alternate template. It'll print both of them for every session. So if you don't want to print them both, then uncheck that box. Then down below that, you'll have 2 options where it says prompt the user to choose at the start of the session or prompt the user at the end of the session. We're going to start with the start of the session just for this illustration, so we'll see it quicker. So I'm going to click that right there. Now then, I've got a simulated live view here just like we were taking pictures. So let's start the booth, and it gives me the warning because I don't have a printer actually connected. But this is a generic, touch screen, and then you see the simulated live view here. So if I click on a button to start the session, you'll see it pops up with my 2 templates to choose from. And in this case, because I'm prompting before the session, it's going to have example photos from our sample photos. You can change that to your own photos if you want to change the sample photos. There's instructions how to do that on our knowledge base. But this is the sample photos, and you can click on whichever one you want to choose. If you had more than 2, there'd be little arrows on the right and left, and then you can touch on that and scroll through them. But let's choose the alternate template right now, and then it's going to say get ready. And it's going to take the 3 photos. There's our first one. And then it's going to do another one. There's our second one. I probably should have set the timings to faster so we don't have to wait through all this. But you get the idea. So here comes number 3. And when number 3 is done, it's going to cycle back around and tell me that the session is over, and then cycle back to the beginning. As soon as it does, I want to exit out. And I'm going to exit out of there, and I'm going to go here to the Prints tab, and then you'll see right there, let me make it a little bigger so you can see it better, there's the template that we just did. Alright, so now while I'm at it, I'm going to change this timing so this is a little faster between photos just to get it going a little quicker for the example. So now I'm going to run another session and choose the other one. Okay, this time I'm going to choose this one, and so it's going to go get ready, 3, 2, 1, and it takes the picture. There's my first picture, and 3, 2, 1, and there's my second picture, and then 3, 2, 1, and there's my third picture. Okay, and then we're going to cycle back around to the beginning, and I'll exit out and go back to the Prints tab, and now you'll see I got the other template. So it took the 2 by 6 the first time I chose that, 4 by 6 the second time. Now let me show you one variation. If we go back to the Output tab, Click on Print Alternate, and this time if we choose Prompt the user at the end of the session, there's one critical, or not critical, but important difference between the two here. So I'm going to click Start. In this case, it's just going to go into the regular session, and it's going to do 3, 2, 1, photo 1, and then 3, 2, 1, and photo 2, and then 3, 2, 1, and photo 3. Now you'll see after it takes all 3 photos, it's going to pop up the same selection screen, but this time it shows the photos that were actually taken. In this case, my simulated live view you see there. But this is kind of important if you were going to do something like a green screen event or whatever. I think this after the session, in my opinion, is the best option because it gives them a chance to see their actual photos taken, and then they can choose which one they like. And if it's a green screen event, they'll see it in front of the background. So that's kind of handy to be able to choose that like that. All right, now then, let me exit back out of that, switch back over to my PowerPoint, and let's see if there's maximum of 50 other options. Okay, we talked about other options would be before the session, after the session. You can add multiple templates, you can add different size templates, you can add green screen templates if you're using a green screen or chroma key, and do different options there where they can see the different backgrounds and everything. Now, one last thing I want to show you, the way I just showed you using the scrolling box is a great way to set it up very quickly. You can just check the box, add the templates, it pops up and shows you that scroll and screen. But let's say that we want to do something a little more elaborate. Let's go to our screen template here, and we're going to choose Edit. Now you can see here I've got my basic screen, and I've got a template that I output as a graphic. This is just a graphic. And in this graphic, I've added the booth command, choose alternate print 1 plus start, because this particular template, if you look here, you'll see all these different commands. We're going to choose alternate print, and then also check the box for start the session. And I've set it to number 1. So if you had multiple alternate prints, 2, 3, 4, 5, you could set that for whichever one you wanted. You could have multiple buttons like this. So doing that, click that. And the same thing for this one. This one's my primary template, so I've got a booth command set, choose primary, print, and start. Okay, so then I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go over here to the text tab, and instead of press start to begin, I'm going to change that to choose your print size. Okay, you could say that however you wanted, but there we go. Choose your print size. Now then, when I run a session, you'll see that I have 2 different templates on here, 4x6 on the left, 4x6 on the right, and the 2x6 on the left. And when you click on it, it starts the session. Now, one thing I forgot to do, you don't want those to show after the session has started. You want them to go away. So you would want to come in here to when shown and change that to custom, and then uncheck everything after the first 2. So you want it to show before the session and during the startup, but once the session has started, you want it to go away. So let me uncheck all of those, and that's good. And then let's go back over here to this one and change always to the same thing. I'm unchecking all the phases of the booth session except for the attract mode and during startup, because I don't want them to show after they start. Okay, now let's go back. So now you'll see when I start the session, I have choose your print size and the 2 different templates on there. When I click on one, they go away, my live view comes up, and it's going to take the session. One other thing I forgot to say, you want to, in your output tab, uncheck that. Otherwise, it's going to pop up that scrolling thing at the end to show you, and for this particular purpose, we don't want that. So now then, so it pops up my live view and it takes the pictures. I took off the preview just for this demo so it wouldn't be in the way, but it'll take the 3 pictures, and then it will output the correct template that was selected. So doing that way, you can have a graphic illustration of the templates before they ever start the session, and they can choose which template. So that's 3 different ways you can do it. You can do it with the graphic illustration like I just did. You can do it with them choosing their template before the session, and you can choose it after the session. Okay, now I'm going to switch back to my PowerPoint and kind of just recap everything here. So first of all, you want to decide what options you want to offer, what sizes, what templates. Get your templates ready. Then it's also best if your templates all have the same number of images. If they don't, if you have one template that only has 1 photo and the other templates has 3, it's going to take 3 photos. You can go to the text tab and check the photo selection box, and it'll show them all 3 templates, or all 3 photos, 1 in each template, and they can choose the favorite photo they like the best. The templates can be different sizes depending on your printer capabilities. Remember, printers that we have built-in drivers for can cut the print from 2x6 to 4x6 and switch sizes. Printers that are Windows drivers can't. You want to add the primary template and then add the secondary templates. Remember, you have a maximum of 50, although that's a crazy number to do. You also want to choose in that other options section whether you want them to do it before the session, after the session, or if you want both templates or just the one they select. And then you can also set up a template selection screen like I just did here, where they can have a graphic picture of the template like a button that they can choose which one they want. So I hope all that helps. If you have any other questions, give us a call. Thanks. Have a good day.